Stand by to launch FanStream Sports.
3, 2, 1. Let's start.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to FanStream Sports. Nothing but pure sports. This is the JP Show.
JP, it's so good to hear you back on the air.
Stand by. Now, here's JP.
All right, welcome into a Tuesday edition of the JP Peterson Show after what was an epic, and I do mean epic, national championship game last night between Indiana and Miami. Oh, so many thoughts on last night's festivities. We got to get to the Bucs coaching search for an OC, special teams coach, etc. What's going on there? Something strange going on there. We'll get to that. Lightning going for 14 games in a row with a point tonight. We've got other NFL news. I'm sure something big is going to break during the show. Why am I so sure of that? I don't know. I just have
because it always does.
That's right. Good morning to you, IndyCarTim. How are you in our Dallas affiliate?
Freezing my nips off, JP. It's 26 degrees here in the DFW this morning as we prepare for what they're calling Winter Storm 2026 this weekend.
Snowmageddon.
Yes.
All right. We had snow in Florida for the second year in a row.
Had a lot of it.
This climate change heat wave is just killing me.
Thanks a lot, Al Gore,
yeah,
for inventing climate change.
I mean, we're halfway underwater already, the state of Florida. We were supposed to be all underwater, I think, by 2022.
Wasn't South Florida supposed to be an island by now?
Yes. What happened? I don't know. It's science. These people, it's a science. Don't question the science, Timmy. Don't question it. Idiot.
Just questioning Al Gore.
Yes.
And Tipper. Let's question Tipper while we're at it, too.
People who have left the scene and we're glad about it.
You had Tipper Gore on your bingo card this morning. You win.
Yeah, we were not getting into that today. All right, so we got lots to get to today, and we're going to obviously be taking your comments. You can do that on YouTube. You can do that on Twitter. You can do that on Facebook. You can always reach out to us on our text line, which
214-937-0569.
There you go. So you can do that as well. Lots of ways to interact with the show. We love interacting with you guys. It's a huge part of what we do. That's right. The owners of the Rays come to this show to see what the fans of Tampa Bay are talking about and looking at. That is absolutely verified information. And speaking of the Rays, They have a big vote coming up today at the HCC Board of Regents. We're going to vote on a project that will build a stadium and evidently a college. We're getting word of this from the Times this morning, kind of breaking news. They've gotten got the documents that they're going to be voting on today. So we'll get into that as well. It's going to be a college district. I like that.
What is in a college district?
A
college? Can we just call that a campus?
Yeah, I guess it'll be a satellite campus. So yeah, There we go. All right, so lots to get into. Indiana wins last night. What I think, Timmy, was, I don't know. I think it, other than obviously the ones I've been personally involved with Florida State, I think this will eclipse the USC-Texas game as maybe the greatest national championship game. The Clemson-Alabama game here.
That was pretty good.
That was with the Hunter Renfrow last second, Deshaun Watson right here in Tampa Bay. That was pretty spectacular as well. There have been some really good ones, but this one, for the drama, the personalities, the storylines, and it all, a lot of times the storylines lead up to a dud, right? And the people that we're talking about aren't really factors in the game. I think Mendoza was a factor last night. That 4th and 5 call will go down as one of the ballsiest big mofo onion calls in the history of college football. And Curt Cignetti is an absolute boss. He is unbelievable. Where did this guy come from?
And the call was one thing, right? Like that was ballsy in and of itself. But then Mendoza's effort on the play, that will go down as we'll see that highlight of him diving across the goal line sideways and getting tagged in the back, in the small of the back, for 100 years from now.
Yeah.
In the highlights of the annals of college football.
Oh, wow. You went there.
It's crazy.
Yeah, we think of the Elway spin. You know, he didn't get in the goal. He didn't get in the end zone, though. He didn't get in the end zone. This was a helicopter into the end zone. He makes a great cut at the 10-yard line. That was, you know, first of all, that's great vision, awareness. Makes a great cut to the right, and then he's one-on-one with like 3-on-1. Two guys coming from the side, but the safety coming right at him unblocked. Makes him miss. Then takes a shot at the 5-yard line, bounces off that. 3 more guys at the goal line. One hits him in his kidney, and he flies into the end zone on 4th and freaking 5. When it was a 17-14 game, every coach in the history of the world kicks a field goal there, but not Curt freaking Cignetti. And I'll tell you, and this is the God's honest truth, he almost went for it at the end there when they were up 3, because the numbers don't favor you there. When you go up 6, what you do is you actually give an advantage to the other team, because now they know they got 4 downs to work with. And with 4 downs and 10 yards, and Miami had plenty of time to work with, that is normally going to give an advantage to the offense. And damned if our boy Carson Beck didn't step up and do what we knew that he was so capable of doing, throwing an absolutely disastrous, horrible interception when you needed it most. The final beckoning.
I would still like to know what happened on that play. I guess now's as good a time as any for me to get into this, JP. I've talked on this show before about how I dictate my rooting interest in a game where I have no rooting interest, right? I let it. I don't care about Indiana. I don't care about Miami. Now, I will tell you, as you guys will remember, I'm not the biggest Fernando Mendoza fan. I'm tired of his face. I'm tired of hearing him talk. If I have to watch him do another interview, I might shoot myself, because I just cannot stand to listen to him talk. And I'm there with Cignetti too. But I went into this thing with an open mind, like I'm gonna let my brain cheer for me, and then I'll dig. And it naturally went towards Miami, because I thought there's no way the Indiana Hoosiers, I know it's a great year, I know it's a great story, there's no way the Hoosiers can win a football title. It's not ever going to happen. And so I went into this thing and I found myself naturally cheering for Miami. Now, that almost didn't happen because I had to look at Michael Irvin as an honorary captain in the coin toss.
What would drive you to root for Miami?
I love Michael Irvin.
I am absolutely perplexed and angered by your take, actually.
I told you would be. Dude, I just can't with Fernando Mendoza. That dude just rubs me the wrong way. I cannot.
I know. He doesn't swear.
All he does about any of that.
All he does is a gee whiz. He's
it's
Beaver
all fake.
Cleaver.
100% fake. There's nothing real about that dude.
His mother. How can you call it fake? Like on what basis? On what basis you've never met the dude. You've never met anybody that knows the dude, and yet you're going to call it fake.
Yep, because nobody's that nice.
Insulted by that.
Nobody
can be that nice.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Right.
Nope. And not be that competitive at the same time.
Yeah.
So look, I had to deal with Michael Irvin at the coin toss, and I'm a Michael Irvin fan.
You go sit with Michael Irvin and do a few lines. Go to the strip club. Cheat on your wife. Go hang out with Ray Lewis and his gang, and maybe you might murder somebody on the way. Allegedly. That's a great group, and hang out. Yeah, that's a great. I would stick with them. But other than the kid whose mom has MS. And whose dad won't even stand up because his mom can't stand up and cheer. A family that has come together, a kid that has worked his ass off, that was a great player. But you know what? He was eschewed by most players. You know probably why? Because he was too nice of a guy. Yep. And I'm so glad that the Miami Hurricanes had the Heisman Trophy winner living and growing up, wanting to be a Hurricane, living 2 seconds from campus, whose father played for the team. And you didn't want him because he wasn't Ray Lewis and he wasn't Michael Irvin and he wasn't that type of kid. and you didn't want him, and he came back and beat your ass in the national championship game. And that's the greatest thing I've ever seen.
It's a great story. I'm not denying that.
Get out of here with that.
No, I could not root for him. And look, I'll tell you this. Number one, where I was going with this is I'd like to know what happened on that play on the interception. Was it just a bad throw, or was the receiver
God
supposed
came
to be
down
somewhere
and
else?
willed it? That's what happened.
It would never happen.
Good versus evil. Good always wins.
Did Mark Cuban pay off the referees in this game?
That's what happened. Fernando Mendoza happened. The goodness of that soul.
But
good
you know what?
Versus evil, good always triumphs. Have you not been to the movies lately? Good always triumphs over evil in the end.
I watched my VHS cassettes in the living room. But you know what happened? As soon as that interception happened, you know what I did, JP?
You go root for Carson Beck and
I was not rooting for Carson Beck.
And his Miami hose and his Lamborghini and his
like
OnlyFans models and leaving his girlfriend. You go root for that group. I'll be over here with Fernando.
Going to church. I had no rooting interest for either team. I don't like either team. But I was naturally inclined.
You do. You like that being in that cesspool. You
Fernando Mendoza.
I will be on the other side. Come find me. I'll
be throwing snowballs at you in Miami with all of the snow we have on the Miami sideline.
I'll have the trophy over here.
You will.
Yes.
But you know what? As soon as that interception.
Go to the club with Michael and Ray and Ed and the boys. Ed Reed with his stupid big hat on. Get out of here with that.
I can tell you. Look, I hate Ed Reed and Ray Lewis. I'm not hanging out with them, all right? I have hung out with Mike.
I didn't want to come on here and rip
before.
Miami, but you forced me to do it.
As soon as that interception occurred, JP, I turned off the TV. You know why? Because I can't sit through another freaking post-game interview with Fernando Mendoza or Curt Cignetti, by the way. I'm tired of him, too. And you know what? The rest of the country is going to be tired of Cignetti next year. Everyone's going to turn on Indiana next year. They're the new Alabama. After one freaking championship, everyone's going to turn on that team because they're unbearable.
They're too nice. They do it the right way. God forbid we don't need that.
The rest
around
of that team ain't too nice. It's just Mendoza.
Yeah, we don't need hard-working underdogs winning things. We need more people committing fraud and cheating their way to the top. That's what we need. That's what we need. More of the bad people winning. That's what we need. Get out of here with that.
I'm not endorsing any of that. I'm just saying fake Nando Mendoza's fake. That's all I'm saying. I love his mom and his dad. I love the story. I love the story for the school. All right. I don't like that guy.
I just love that Miami.
He's a fraud.
And that guy that you didn't want, Miami, Florida State.
Yeah, how about that?
Yeah, nobody
wanted
him in Florida. Winning state titles, coming from the best program. I swear to God, I'm not there. I wasn't there for his recruitment, but looking at the numbers, the size, the athleticism, everything the accuracy that this kid throws with, all these attributes that he has, natural born leader, guys love him, all these things, and nobody wanted him. I guarantee you why. Because let's just be honest. He's a little awkward. Yeah. He's a little awkward. He's a little beaver cleaver, and people just don't think that wins. And now we see that, maybe it does. Maybe it does. I mean, Mario Cristobal, you had a chance to go get him in the portal, and you took Carson Beck, with all the character flaws.
How much did Mendoza make this year?
Don't go selling me on, he's such a good human being. We know better. I got the teenagers showing me his Snapchat stuff. I know what he's all about. Fernando Mendoza ain't on Snapchat. He's on LinkedIn.
Because he's networking.
He's networking. You go hang out on Snapchat
He's
with
looking
Carson
for
Beck
sponsors.
and his OnlyFans models. I'll be over here on LinkedIn with my man Mendoza, conquering the world, winning national championships. That's what I'm doing. Get out of here with that.
And I will say this, JP, to put a bow on my horrible take for everybody. For all of you naysayers when he won the Heisman, and I wasn't one of them necessarily. I don't give a crap about the Heisman voting. All right, who wins, who doesn't. I honestly don't care. But there was a lot of people who said he wasn't the best player in college football, and they tried to name 10 people better than him. I don't think there's anyone on the planet who could honestly say, after watching him through this college football playoff run, and especially the Natty last night, who can make a valid argument that he is not the best player in college football this year. There's zero question in my mind that they got it right with the Heisman voting.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that. And I'll also say this. I think, and we'll find out probably later, I think that shot that he took on the chin, the helmet shot, I think he got a little
bell rung a little bit.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He was not right for a little while.
He was in a kind of a daze on the sideline too. Yeah.
He was not right. And I think that's why Cignetti went to a little bit more conservative play. Masterfully called game in terms of the screens and the runs and the execution. The fourth down calls are just, compare Cignetti to Todd Bowles when it comes to managing a game. Good God. And listen, if you don't understand how these, and you do not want to be in a 6-point game. And I was a little surprised that he didn't go for it. I think it was 4th and 7 though, wasn't it? That was a really long fourth down, even though he went for it on 4th and 5. But he'd already probably used up his best plays in those situations. But it was the right call. It was the right call. And I'm sitting there, of course, I may have a little bit of money on Indiana. I would have had about a $400 parlay, which would have been my 4th parlay hit of the weekend. Won about $1,000 on parlays this weekend. And I just needed the under 46. So if my boy, the All-American offensive lineman, who I don't think has had a false start all year long, doesn't flinch on that 2nd and 1, and they get the first down, then it ends, and I win the parlay and Indiana wins. But it's not about me. But they had that little penalty was, that was it. Now you're giving the ball back to Miami with 3 timeouts, or no, the timeouts were gone. But a minute 51, and the college rules of stopping the clock with the first down, and you 4 downs to get it. I thought Miami was going to win. Carson Beck had every opportunity to do that. And again, why they're throwing the ball down the field in that situation, it was just crazy. Why Malachi Toney doesn't touch the ball every freaking play in that situation, I have no idea. But we said this before the game, that the coaching difference between Cignetti and Cristobal and his coordinators was significant, I thought, especially Shannon Dawson, who is an absolute idiot. How I don't know how you have that kind of talent and you don't know how to use it. It's just baffling. And listen, Miami, by all accounts, obviously the athletes, their defensive line, Bain and Mesidor were absolutely all over Mendoza. He couldn't breathe. He could not breathe. And they did an okay job against the Indiana run game, although Indiana really fought hard in the run game, big time, and it made a difference. But some of the play calling from Cignetti and his OC, and it was just masterful. The back shoulder throws to Becker. That kid, he's another great story. Nobody wanted him. Barely stayed on it at Indiana, and he becomes such a key player. Those 2 back shoulders, the back shoulder on the 4th and whatever that was, just unbelievable catch. Incredible catch. And then just the story of Indiana. This is such a and as much as we bitch about the portal and NIL, Timmy, this does not happen without portal and NIL. This which is arguably the greatest comeback story in the history of college football. Arguably, and I'd say it may not even be arguable.
I don't think it's a comeback story, though. It's not a comeback story. It's just a story. Like, it's organic.
They never were there. They were never there.
Yeah. No.
It's not a comeback because they were never there. It's the most amazing national championship in the history of college football. And it was made possible by the portal and NIL. Mark Cuban's money and everybody else's money. And who knew Indiana had the biggest alumni group in the United States? I didn't know that.
Yeah,
but
it doesn't surprise me, but I didn't know
it's
that.
large and it's rich. And they spent a lot of money.
Yeah.
And kudos to them. They figured it out. And Cignetti, and so much of what I love about this story is all the things I mentioned before. It kind of half joking with you, but all of these things are these are bygone things, this old school things that people say don't work anymore. High character, honesty, integrity, hard work, busting your ass, finding guys that aren't 5 stars, but just will outwork you, and doing it with discipline and being smart and not getting penalties, although they were penalized more last night than they have been. And boy, did they let them play. Holy shizbang. There were a lot of missed calls last night.
Big 12 officiating crew, by the way, JP.
Yeah, they were mediocre. Or they just they just said
had money on the game.
Hey, we ref out in the wild, wild west, so we ain't gonna have no rules. This is just gonna be the shootout at the OK Corral. Y'all just go out, grab and hold, and do whatever the hell you want. Hit them after the play. It doesn't matter. Yeah. It really is when you look at some of the, and I know this is a lot of old school Miami stuff. These, honestly, we've talked about these kids of Mark Fletcher and his story and his mom's story, and he texts his dad, his deceased dad before. I mean, Malachi Tony, a lot of these guys are very likable. Carson Beck is not, but a lot of these guys are really, really likable dudes, unlike years past in Miami. So, and Cristobal's a good dude too. I kind of like him too. Although
I didn't think
he's not a great game coach.
Yeah, I didn't think he had his best game coaching last night.
4th and 2. I thought the 4th and 2 that he doesn't go for and lets the clock wind down on 4th and 2. I mean, to me, that was exactly the opposite of what Cignetti did. Cignetti is, we believe in our players, we believe in our execution, we believe in what we can do. Your whole identity is your offensive line and your run game bullying people. And on 4th and 2 in a critical situation, you turtle and go for the kick, and it gets no good. It gets doink. That's what you get. I mean, to me, and people were saying, and I put that on text. But they couldn't get a 3rd and 1. They weren't. That's true. They were having a tough time. But you know what? You got to figure it out. If you're going to win the game, if you're going to win this game, especially in that moment when Indiana had all the momentum, and you finally got a drive going. That was their first drive of the game, really.
Yeah. And
you get to 4th and 2 in their territory, and you turtle like that, I think that sends a message to your players, to everybody. It's just like, you know what? We got to try to get some points here because we may not be able to get down here again. No. I don't even care if you miss it. You got to go. You got to go there. And when you didn't, I was like, woof, wow. That's it. And I think, I think that was the biggest moment in the game to that point.
I kind of thought
it had residue.
Yeah, I kind of thought that he was coaching scared at times.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And when you coach scared, your players pick up on that and they start to play scared, right? They're like, crap, our coach is a little intimidated by what's happening right now. And 100%. It goes into their brain and they start to play a little bit scared. And I thought they played most of the first half scared.
Yep.
And it took, there were 2 times when I pretty much had written Miami off when they went down 2 scores, both times. And what did they do? They came back with a couple of big plays, back-to-back chunk plays. They got them, and then touchdowns that got them back in the game. And that's what it took for them to stay in the game, was those chunk plays, because they weren't going to move the ball with precision against Indiana. But, you coach scared, you start to play scared. And I thought that was the undoing of Miami last night.
Yeah, and especially when the opposing team is doing the exact opposite.
Yep.
Right? And so I think coaching was a huge part of this game last night. Tremendous part of this game last night. Yeah, I think it's so good for college football. And I know we dog the portal and all these things. And if we can get some guardrails on this, and I think we're headed that way, I think it makes college football better. We don't need so much transients. It's too much right now, too many guys. And there's a lot of guys that are going into the portal that are now without teams.
Yeah.
And they're trying to go back to their old team, and they're like, hey, you went after that other pretty girl. You might go find her because we ain't buying. Doors locked.
Well, or when guys enter the portal.
That's going to limit guys going into the portal.
Yeah, because you enter the portal, your old team replaces you in the portal. And now you want to go back. There's not a spot for you anymore because you left. Now, the exception with that is if the guy's a stud, right? And the team's like, all right, if you want to go play around, go ahead. We got a spot for you if you want to come back. But those are the absolute exceptions. That's not your second string tight end, right? And those guys matter too. Look at Indiana's roster. Holy crap. Full of guys that nobody wanted.
Yeah. And a lot of these agents are telling their players, get into the portal so I can get some leverage. And all I can say is you better know who you are.
Yeah.
You better know who you are. You know, unless you're a highly sought after player that can, and listen, coaches are not looking for just small upgrades. Coaches have learned, maybe not Mike Norvell, but most of the coaches have learned if the person you bring in isn't a huge upgrade, don't bring him in. Don't bring him in. Who just told me that? Oh, God, my brain doesn't work. But you can't, and it works in the pros the same way. You can't bring in a free agent or bring in a transfer guy that's not demonstratively better than the guy you got. Because if you just give that person, like Florida State has done many, many times, quarterback DJ Uiagalelei, Tommy Castellanos, Roydell Williams, you bring in guys that aren't demonstratively better than who guys you got, and you just give them that completely tears down the trust between coaches and players.
Yep.
And then you know what you get? You get 2-10. That's what you get. And 5-7. And that's what's happened at Florida State. You can't do that. So these kids in the portal that think they're going to just get some leverage and get more money and then they have no place to go. I think it was like 12,000 kids went into the portal, some ridiculous number. And now thousands of them don't have places to play. Yep. So I think this is going to limit a little bit. Guys are going to get a little bit smarter. Unless you're a game-changing player, you better keep your ass right where you're at and work on your craft and become a better football player. So, but I still believe that this story does not happen without NIL. So I think there are some good things about it. There are some good things about it. It's not all trash.
And that's true of both teams, I think. Not just Indiana, but, Miami's roster was built on NIL too. I mean, obviously,
of course.
Carson Beck.
Of course, yeah.
So,
yeah.
And they're a good story. I don't care if, a 10 seed in the college football playoff made the national championship game. Like, to me, that's a story. I don't care if you like the team or not. That's a huge story that your number 10 seed could go all the way to the title in this new playoff era. So, yeah, and none of it happens without NIL. It's just got to be regulated.
John Hill's in this morning. Good morning to you, and happy birthday, Johnny. Happy birthday, John Hill. Yeah. Says Mendoza dropped the F-bomb on national live TV. He did? You mean freaking? He didn't say it. He didn't say the real F one.
Did he say fart?
Yeah, I know he didn't say the real. He didn't say fudge, but it didn't say fudge.
JP, you're smarter than that. Come on.
Yeah, I don't think he did. You trying to trick me here. Joel Forsland says, how can you not root for IU, Timmy? They figured out the whole NIL and transfer bullshit and shoved it up college football's ass. I personally love it. They figured it out. Cheers to them. Hell yeah.
I don't hate that part of it. I hate Indiana University because, number one, Mendoza. Number two, Cignetti. Number three, Mark Cuban. Just get Mark Cuban out of my face, too. Can't stand that a-hole.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you on that. Play Blues Wolf says, I love this show. High-level shit slinging.
That's what we do.
We try to entertain. We really do try to entertain you guys as much as
sometimes
possible.
It happens.
Yeah, you never know. Miami was smart getting licks in on Mendoza early. They knew the refs weren't calling those flags. Yeah. I think Miami did a really good job of reading the room early on. And you could hold, grab, eye gouge receivers. It didn't matter. There was not going to be a PI last night. It just was not. And listen, you're smart you got it. You got to push the envelope. And they did. I thought it was a big, because, these Indiana receivers have done a really good job of getting open. They couldn't get open last night. And it's because they were being held the entire freaking night. I don't. But Indiana did a great job on the Miami receivers too. I think they were probably getting physical as well. I don't think it was as demonstrative as it was with Miami. Aviation says the officiating in both college and pro is a joke. They are so flag happy all regular season they don't throw squat in the playoffs when everyone's watching. Choose one or the other. I hate it when, hockey does this all the time. They change the way they officiate the game in the playoffs. I don't want the refs to, if I have if I have to have it one way, whether let them play or flag happy, I'll go with let them play all the time. Yeah. But can't we just get competent officiating? There were some obvious calls last night that weren't called. There was a clear holding call on a big third down. I think it was right before they had to kick the field goal for Indiana, where the guys, was grabbing the jersey and the jersey was pulled. You could see the pull of the jersey by like 2 or 3 yards, and the receiver was clearly encumbered, and he was the intended receiver. It was as obvious a call as you could ever make, and it was a huge call at the time.
Yeah,
and they blew that one big time. That could have changed the entire outcome of the game. So yeah, but this game is not about officiating. This game was about Indiana, what they were able to prove, and the fact that their undersized defensive line that averaged about 278 up against Miami's offensive line that averaged about 315, 320. They were able to shut down the run game. The only run they got was the Fletcher long run, and that was a horrible angle by the safety, just absolutely terrible. But other than that, Indiana did a great job against the vaunted Miami offensive line. And again, how Malachi Toney doesn't touch the ball 20 times in this game, I don't know. It seemed like every time he did touch the ball, see how many touches.
He was effective everywhere. He was effective in the passing game, effective in the running game. He was blocking well. Let him take a direct snap in a wildcat or something.
He got 10 well, he got the touchdown he scored was on a little like pitch kind of wildcat jet sweep type thing. So he had 10 receptions for 122 yards. That's not enough.
No,
to me,
not the way he was
he's got to get 15 to 20 touches.
By the way, breaking news, JP, from ESPN, I'm seeing as of 22 minutes ago, Mendoza has entered the NCAA transfer portal Tuesday morning. Alberto Mendoza.
Really?
He's leaving Indiana.
You can't wait. Oh, yeah, the teams that are still involved, they can.
Their portals were extended, yeah.
Interesting.
All I heard was how he's the incumbent and he's going to get the job when his brother leaves, but I don't know anything about Alberto Mendoza. He's probably not a starting quarterback, right?
Well, the one thing is everybody goes into the portal for leverage. That's part of it now. So like I was just saying, if you think you're that good of a player that they're definitely going to give you more money or bring you back, then your agent wants you to go into the portal to create some leverage. If you just stay there, you don't go into the portal, you have no leverage, right? Yeah. How do you go ask for more money? You just get in the portal, and then they got to have to come to you. And you saw this happen with a lot of Florida State guys.
Yeah. But they really want to leave.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting. They in a lot of their NIL deals, they put buyouts in there. So the teams that had to come get these players, like the Desir twins, had hefty buyouts, and it kept a lot of teams from coming after him, which was smart, a rare smart thing that FSU did. So, yeah, I just thought it was an incredibly entertaining game, and the storylines were just absolutely classic, and they played out perfectly. They really, it was, if you were writing a script, it might be a little too hokey, but it worked. It really, really worked, and it was really fun to watch. All right, couple of let's take a break. We'll come back and we'll get to the Bucs OC thing. Nothing has broken this morning yet, right? We haven't seen anything on.
I've been watching, and also Todd Bowles is still the head coach. JP.
Yeah, I had a conversation with someone inside the organization yesterday that I thought was really, really interesting, and I will share that with you when
was their last name Glacier?
No, it was not Glacier.
Okay.
But this OC search is moving at a glacier pace.
It is.
It is indeed. And I think there's a reason for that.
Are they waiting on someone?
We are brought to you by the great folks at Genesis of Tampa, giving away a gas card for a year this month. So all you got to do is get down there and take a test drive, and they will 10X your entries into the gas card for a year contest. It could be up to $2,500 in gas. Many of you have lots of gas, but you need more. So get on down there and get in that. And by the way, you can test drive those cars, and you'll have fun just doing that. You'll like smell that new car smell, the leather in there. Oh, yeah, the luxury of these vehicles, the technology, incredible. And then you'll sit down and start your deal, and you're like, what? This car's what? How much is it? Are you kidding me? I can get it for that. Deal done. They're doing great deals at Genesis of Tampa, so much so the other Genesis dealers are getting mad. That's how good the deals are. Genesis of Tampa, 801 East Bears Avenue, right off of 275. Go see them and tell them JP sent you. Back in 3 with your comments. Experience the art of driving at Genesis of Tampa, where luxury meets innovation and every detail is crafted for you. From the bold G70 to the refined GV80, Genesis delivers power, elegance, and technology years ahead of its time. Book service online, and our Genesis Experience advisors will pick you up and drop off your vehicle. If available, you can enjoy a courtesy car while yours gets a complimentary interior vacuum plus a generous offer for your trade. Every new Genesis comes with the Miracle Advantage Plan, 10 years or 250,000 miles of powertrain warranty and 4 years of complimentary maintenance. Visit us at 801 East Bears Avenue or online at genesisoftampa.com. Genesis of Tampa, luxury redefined. Italiano Insurance would like to congratulate the Bucs on their 50th anniversary season. And you know what? We've been here for every season and then some, over 60 years in business. We've seen some smart coaches with great game plans, but if you don't have flood insurance or business insurance, that's a terrible game plan. That could ruin you financially. You don't want to take that L. So call 813-877-7799 and let their friendly agents quarterback your insurance and save you big money. Italiano also sponsors our FSU report every week, so go Noles. 813-877-7799 or go to italianoinsurance.com.
Sports fans, it's time to gear up. Head to fanstreamsports.com and check out our brand new merchandise store. We're talking bold t-shirts, 3/4 zips, hoodies, hats, mugs, and more. Everything you need to rep your favorite shows and your favorite crew. Whether you're rolling with the JP Peterson Show in Tampa Bay, From the Rough in Dallas, the Tim May Show featuring Clay Hall, or the Jeff Thidoff Show in Ohio, or any of our Fanstream Sports original programming, we've got the perfect look for game day and every day. So don't wait. fanstreamsports.com. Click merch and grab your gear now. Wear the stream, live the stream, fanstreamsports.com.
JP here for Riveters, the official sports bar and grill of the JP Peterson Show. We're located just south of Ray J and Steinbrenner Field, so it's a great pre- and post-game spot, and the happy hour is amazing. Monday through Friday, 3 to 7. Check out these specials. $3 Bud Light drafts, $4 domestic bottles, $5 wells, $6 premium wells, $6 cocktails like margaritas. That's unheard of. And the Riveters food is freshly made daily. No freezers. Happy hour food specials include $3.50 tacos and barbecue sliders. $6 you get edamame or chips with the beer cheese, which is amazing. $8 buffalo chicken dip, my favorite. The truffle fries, chili cheese fries, also $8 at happy hour. As well as other specials throughout the week, including Taco Tuesdays, you get $3 tacos, and Wing Wednesdays, 7 o'clock to 1 a.m. in the morning, you get our amazing wings, 5 for $5 and $5 wells and wines. That's a good Wednesday night. So if you're tired of the preppy, overpriced, generic sports bars, come see the amazing, friendly bartenders and staff at Riveters, where customer service really matters. Riveters, just south of where the Rays and Bucs play. We'll see you there. Hey, kick off the new year by impressing her with a real diamond, a natural diamond from Golden Diamond Source. Don't start with a fake diamond, guys. That's a really, really bad idea. And if you're ready to pop the question, find the perfect engagement ring at the Golden Diamond Source, just like I did, just like Nick did. It is the best selection, the best staff, the best everything. And discover the new Emily collection by Emily Johnson Weintraub, a sleek and modern jewelry line that makes everyday gifts absolutely extraordinary. And by the way, gold prices have never been higher, so turn that old unused gold into cash or a stunning new piece. Just take it on down to the Golden Diamond Source and trade it in. Lots to get done at the Golden Diamond Source this new year. Start with an engagement ring from the greatest, the Golden Diamond Source. 3800 Alberton Road, always online at the Golden Diamond Source.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by the great folks at Riveters, the greatest place to watch any sports, including the Lightning tonight. If you're not going to the game tonight with San Jose, where we may have a goalie fight, then go on over to Riveters and enjoy the great happy hour from 3 to 7 o'clock with the $3 domestics, $5 well drinks, and that's the good stuff in the wells, by the way. It's not the cheap stuff. They got good stuff in the well. Yeah, you can go over there and pregame, watch the Lightning, watch your basketball, whatever you want to watch tonight, and it's all great at Riveters. The chicken wings are fantastic. The food is fantastic, and it's the place to watch. If you're not going to the game, which, of course, I will be going to the game. Brian Bradley will join us from Skate here in just a minute as we went on a little bit. I got all riled up, Timmy. You got me all riled up today with your anti-Indiana take. And
you think Brian Bradley is pro Mendoza, or you think he's anti-Mendoza?
I think he loves Mendoza.
All right.
He's a good human being. Yes.
What do you wait? Whoa.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I have no counter to that. So yeah.
Yes. As far as the Michael LaRue says, we still haven't heard from the Glazers or Light. Would they still fire Bowles for someone like Mike McDaniel or Sean McDermott? We're on day 16 of the 19-day Gruden rule. Yes, that's a good point. So
here's the issue with McDermott, though. Is McDermott's a defensive coach. Aren't we looking for an offensive coach like McDaniel to come in here and lead the Bucs? Aren't we done with defensive coaches?
Well, if you haven't noticed, we need to fix the defense too.
Yeah, but just
like
get you
way more than the offense. I mean, if you were going to say what's going to give the Bucs the biggest leap, I would say we need a really good defensive coordinator to change a lot of different things, and we need a really good OC as well. So I don't think you can go wrong either way. But if McDermott comes in and brings a new OC, hell, I'd take McDermott fixing the defense. I'd bring back Josh Grisard if I had to. Oh, there's some of these other names like Dan Pitcher from Cincinnati who's not called plays. Would I going to go hire him over Josh Grisard, who knows these players and worked with them and had some success with them? And then you don't have to change the playbook. You have continuity. I'm not saying Josh Grisard did a great job, but would you rather have Josh Grisard or Dan Pitcher, who doesn't know any of these people and is going to bring a brand new system and has never called plays? That's better than Josh Grisard.
An experienced play caller is what you need. If you're going to replace Grisard, you got to have some experience calling plays.
Yeah, I agree. And who is that guy? Is it Mike McDaniels? The fact that he hasn't taken another head coaching job is interesting. And as I said, I mentioned talk with someone inside the organization yesterday, and I said, I know you can't say, a lot of like what exactly is that, but philosophically is there what's the vibe in the building? It was this kind of like a lot of wait and see. It's a lot of wait and see. I'm like, for the OC, it's like, and maybe some other things. I still, and I know people think I'm crazy, but I still, because I'm a logical human being and I can see the landscape. I mean, look at all these coaches that are being fired that have way better records than Todd Bowles. I mean, way better records than Todd Bowles, way better situations.
Unbelievable.
It doesn't make any sense. And I know that there's not a whole lot of, listen, I think Todd Bowles would have been fired last year if they didn't make the playoffs. And that was damn close to happening. So, and I don't think there's, and this whole idea of, you got a 3-year extension, they're not going to fire him out. That's ridiculous.
It doesn't mean anything. Yeah.
Yeah. Not in the NFL. And plus we haven't seen that contract. And I can't believe that the Glazers went out and gave him this great big contract with a huge buyout after last year.
After his entire tenure here.
I mean, he didn't earn that. And did you want to bump him up in salary because he was ridiculously low paid? Yes. And when you're going to give him a bump in salary, you're going to give him a contract extension. But I haven't seen it. Nobody has. But I would bet that there's some easy outs in that contract for the Buccaneers, for the Glazers. because why would you give him some large buyout knowing that you're still very much evaluating him as a head coach? Come on now.
From year to year is how that should be happening.
And not to mention just the hundreds of millions of dollars that these teams make. Come on. That buyout can't be more than $10-15 million. And that's chump change.
If that.
Or and you're talking about a payroll of, what are payrolls now, up to almost $300 million, where, where quarterbacks are making $60 million a year, edge rushers are making $45 million a year. The man that's going to direct your team as the head coach, and head coaches that are making $20-25 million a year now, you think that a $15 million buyout is going to keep you from doing the right thing? If that's where you're at from a financial situation, then you need to get the hell out of being an NFL owner. And I know that ain't where the Glazers are at. They sold 25% of Man United for $1.7 billion. Cash money. They got plenty of money. That's not the reason Todd Bowles is still here, in my opinion.
It's unfathomable. Like I can't even comprehend what the reason would be if it's not money. And I don't think it's money. I don't think money is the reason he's still there, but I can't imagine another reason why they would keep him. Unless he has absolutely done a salesman job on ownership, on their little ownership group, and somehow convinced them things will be different because I'm firing my defensive coaches. I'm fixing my defense by firing my underlings rather than myself. So I don't know. I did hear something interesting though, JP, as I was prepping for my 7 a.m. Dallas Cowboys podcast, as the Cowboys obviously are in a defensive coordinator search as well. I asked one of my guys inside the Star about Raheem Morris, because he's one of the names I have not heard attached to the Cowboys. And I said, why is Raheem Morris not getting a look? He said everything he's hearing from his guys, who are the guys that, that know things, Raheem Morris isn't very well thought of in the coaching ranks right now. Apparently he's burned some bridges. And I haven't heard his name. Now, in the last day or two, I've heard him attached to the Packers DC job. But he said when asked about Raheem Morris, the Cowboys inquired his representatives, but have not requested an interview because of things they're hearing within the league. I don't know what that is. He doesn't know what that is, but he said there's something going on with Raheem Morris where the teams are shying away from interviewing him. I have no clue what that would be.
Interesting. Yeah. Well, I mean,
because he fits all of the criteria that the Cowboys are looking for. They want an ex-head coach, or they would like to have an ex-head coach with defensive coordinator experience. And most likely a guy with head coaching experience who's not going to leave next year. I don't think Raheem Morris would be getting any head coaching looks for the next few years, if ever again. So, yeah, so he immediately, I'm like, well, why haven't we heard anything about him with the Cowboys? And that was the answer I got. Something's going on and teams are shying away from him.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying that Raheem did a great job in Atlanta, but I didn't think, he wasn't 2 wins bad or 5,
right.
And they had a nice little run at the end of the season. Of course, all the different
quarterback situations.
Yeah, which is not his doing. That was right. Terry Fontenot. So I thought I was a little surprised, not shocked, but a little surprised that they moved on. The Falcons. But maybe that's why. Maybe there's something that happened in Atlanta that, and we remember when he was here. I mean, it's no secret. He was hanging out with the players. Hell, I was hanging out with them.
Right.
And players.
Right.
He bought us all a lot of drinks. We appreciate that, Rob. Yeah, he was great. He was fantastic, but probably not what you want to be doing as an NFL coach. And he's openly, talked about that and how he had to mature. Sure. And I thought he had. I thought he really had. And getting that head coaching job in Atlanta was a perfect spot for him. I thought, and there was some talent there. But again, I don't think he did a horrible job. But that kind of that's interesting to hear that.
Wow.
Okay, get to some other comments here. Maybe Bowles has compromising photos of the Glazers. I don't think so. Raheem firing Ike Hilliard as the scapegoat mid-season was very damaging. I don't remember that.
Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah, vaguely I do. Good morning to you, Nathan Elliott. If you don't want to say
not going to say Peterman's, is he?
He's not going to do it. No,
it's a great bit he's got going.
Yeah, Joel Forsland said the Glazers are cheap. That's such. I mean, he said the Glazers are cheap is so 2009. Yeah, it's just not a thing anymore, folks. It was when they were buying Man United, they went cheap. That's documented. But no, not anymore. The Brady years, they spent wildly on staff, free agents. I mean, complete open checkbook.
Yeah.
I don't buy that at all. McDermott had 2 years left on his contract when he got fired. Yeah. And there's something a little bit different because obviously Sean McDermott's going to go get another job and there's offset language in all NFL contracts. So you knew that if you fired him, it wouldn't be, he'd go get another job and it wouldn't be a buyout situation. So, or a big buyout situation. So, but with Bowles, you don't know. He may just opt for retirement, but there may be a clause in his contract. And I think there probably is that he has to go try and get another job and offset it.
Yeah.
So I just don't think that the big Glazers would have painted themselves into a huge buyout corner, given the tenuousness of Bowles' situation.
Is there any team in the league that would consider Bowles for even a defensive coordinator position at this point?
I think he would get DC look. Absolutely. I think he's still well regarded as a defensive coordinator in this league.
I would just think, given his age and the trend to go younger and the next up and comer guy, I'm
not saying he's at the top of the list.
Yeah.
But with all of the openings that are out right now, all of these openings would have only 3 of the 9 have been filled, correct? You have so many.
Yes.
You have so many staffs that have to be filled out. I think that he has so many friends in the league, obviously, that he's worked with and around for so long. I think he would definitely get a look and probably get a job. And I think he deserves that. I think he would be much better as a DC only. I think that's where Todd is. Quite frankly, we talked about this a lot. There are head coaches in this league, and there are DCs and OCs, guys that can be coordinators and guys that can be head coaches. I think it's a very different job. And as his own players said, Rashad White said it, that I don't think he should be doing both. He should be either, let somebody else call the defense. And it's just too much. You have to. I mean, if you're a DC, you want to be able to. When your team comes off the field, you want to be able to go over there, talk to your guys face to face, listen to them, gather them up, and coach them up and find out. When you're calling the plays, you got to find out what's working and what's not working. And when you're the head coach, you can't really do that because you got to be out there watching the offense and watching what's going on because you're going to have to make the calls on 4th down and also, game management calls. Same with special teams. You got to be watching everything. So it definitely takes away from your ability to and details matter, man. And what do we always hear from these great players, Derek Brooks and so many other, what makes the difference between winning details, being on the details, every little detail. And you can't really do that when you're the head coach. I think it's extremely difficult. And as you age, you don't process things as fast and as clear. That's a biological fact.
Yep. By the way, JP, 4 of 10 head coaching openings have been filled.
4 of 10.
Yes.
That's right, because McDermott, the Buffalo.
McDermott made 10. So you've obviously got Jeff Hafley in Miami, John Harbaugh in New York. Then you had Kevin Stefanski in Atlanta. And what's his name in Robert Saleh in Tennessee.
Oh,
by the way, if you're Robert Saleh, just how unlucky do you feel that your first 2 head coaching opportunities have been the Jets and the Titans? Those are not great coaching opportunities.
I think Robert Saleh is going to be a really good head coach.
I do too.
Again, I think the Jets. I said that before he took the Jets job, and then he took the Jets job, and I'm like, oof,
bad decision, yeah, for him. I
agree. Like you put him in Buffalo right now with Josh Allen and a defense that needs to be fixed.
Yep.
I think that's a real good recipe. I think if you bring him to Baltimore with Lamar, And how about the story that the Raiders are going all in on Lamar?
Yeah. That's Brady driven, I'm sure.
Yeah. If you were,
I just don't see it. I never
I
have.
just listen. First of all, what is the price for a 2-time MVP?
With a failed postseason history.
A 2-time MVP.
I hear you, but
I know.
That's what the team's going to throw back at him. Well, how about your postseason record, which is what we're interested in?
I'll blame it on Todd Monken.
Right. Let's run the ball 4 times against the Chiefs. I always go back to that.
Yeah. Jesus. I mean, I think that you would overpay dramatically, but if you've been without a quarterback for that long, you would overpay dramatically.
Sure.
And I think Brady, I don't know if he's smart enough not to do that. Like if they give away, what is the cost? 2 1s and 2 2s?
God, for Lamar.
That's what the Bucs gave up for John Gruden. What did the Broncos have to give up for Peyton? It was was it 2 number 1s for Sean Payton? I think it was a lot. It was a lot of compensation. And by the way, if you're like,
it wasn't that much though. I think.
If I was a coach or even a player, like, and I'm going to a team that has to give up that much compensation to get me, I don't know if that's a good place to be, because that Raiders team needs a lot of work. And giving up a bunch of draft picks for a quarterback, that's, frankly, I watch Lamar now, and I don't see the burst that made him special. I just don't see it. I watch him, and he gets caught from behind. He never got caught from behind when he was scrambling, ever. He made people look like fools, and I just don't think he's as spry as he once was. And why could he be with all the damage that he's taken, the hits that he's taken? What is he, 31 now? I want to say 31, 9 years in, maybe even more than that. I don't know how much I would give up for Lamar. But you got to go, and then you got to find a quarterback that can replace him. I don't know. Tough. Joel Forsman says, agreed, the Bucs OC job is not attractive whatsoever. I totally disagree on that. Bantry says, all those saying the Bucs OC job is attractive because Bowles is hands off on the offense must have not seen the 2 Carolina games. Let's run it 30 times and waste. Yeah, I agree. I don't think Bowles is as hands off or was as hands off as it's made out to be. Now, if Mike McDaniels comes here, an experienced play caller, I think that would be different. I think Bowles probably felt that Grizzard wasn't getting it done and wanted to have some influence on it. I think it was wrong, but I think that's what he thought. So I think there was interference. There's no question there was. And I know for a fact there was. So let's not, but I still think the job is attractive because you have one of the best offensive lines in football when they're healthy, top 5 offensive line. You have, I think, a top 10 quarterback in Baker Mayfield, especially when he has a good offensive line. And, if you can get Mike Evans back, you have one of the best receiver groups. And Bucky Irving, who I know took a step back, but is still a very explosive player. Sean Tucker, probably going to add a back as well. So I think there's a lot to love about this. And it's proven that you come here and score 30 points a game, you get another head coaching job or a head coaching job.
Yeah.
So to me, I think it's a very attractive spot, not to mention Tampa Bay and working with a great organization.
By the way, the Broncos gave up a 2023 first round, a 2024 second and third for Sean Payton.
Yeah. So 3 picks, 3 premium picks. Now, for what would the price be for Lamar? I think you have to start at 2 1s plus and go from there. And I think the Raiders actually do they have 2 in this draft?
2 first rounders.
I think they have the first overall. They've stockpiled some picks, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe they used them last year.
They certainly haven't been using them on players.
Not good players. Faux show.
Let's see. Doesn't mean they won't screw it up, though.
Sorry, I'm texting Brian right now. He's got to go do some meet and greets, so we went to him late. That's my fault. My apology. So
now he's busy.
Yeah, because you got me off on that rant. I blame you for everything.
You know, all you have to do at the beginning of the show in our pre-show meeting is say, by the way, Brian's coming on. Can you send him a link?
My bad.
I didn't even know Brian was coming on today.
My bad. It comes on every home game.
I don't see 2 first-round picks for the
okay. No. Yeah, by the way, Ashley says, we love Fernando and his family with a heart. Take
all
that,
right.
you cold-hearted.
His aunt's kind of hot.
As Carson Beck's will crack in the biggest moments, period, said Joel Forsland. Yep. Mendoza was lighting up the ACC at Cal last year. Watched him play SMU. He lost to Florida State, for God's sakes. He did. 14-9. Florida State got so lucky in that game. A lot of drop passes, it wasn't Mendoza's fault. That's for damn sure. All right, we'll take another break. We'll come back on the other side, get into more of your comments. We got the goalie fight that we got to talk about. I mean, my Lord, did you see that last night? Of course,
this wasn't Patrick Waugh and Mike Vernon, was it?
Yeah, but it was a good one. I thought it was really good.
Man.
Bobrovsky got after it. So we'll hit that and some more college stuff as well. Take a quick break. We're brought to you by the Gold and Diamond Source. It's never a bad time if you're really feeling it, folks, to go get that engagement ring. 5 years, no interest, by the way. You get a $5,000 diamond for $84 a month at the Gold and Diamond Source. It's a great place to shop. It's an intimidating experience. I get it, guys. It's very like, where do I go? I don't want to overpay. I don't want to get pressured into any of that. None of that's going to happen at the Gold and Diamond Source. They've been doing this for over 40 years there, and that's why they've been in business so long, because when people shop there, they have a great experience. They become part of the family, and they come back. That's why you stay in business for so long, because your customers are happy. And they've got a great selection there of men's jewelry, baller watches, chains, bracelets, whatever you want, in a great extended men's section now. And all the bling bling there for anything, for any occasion. It's the Gold and Diamond Source. 3800 Ulmerton Road, right over there in Clearwater. Always online at goldendiamond.com. Back in 3. Well, the folks at Third Generation Plumbing and AC want to say thanks for making them so dadgum busy. Of course, advertising on your favorite Tampa Bay sports talk show helps, but it's their incredible customer service, honesty, and integrity that have earned them tons of 5-star reviews. And now you could be part of the team at Third Generation. Yes, they are so slammed, they need to hire more certified AC technicians and plumbers. It's a great family business to work for. My buddy John Rodriguez runs an old school family business since 1995. They pay well, give you all the holidays off, and they offer great benefits. No cold corporate atmosphere here. You're part of the family. If this sounds cool to you, call them and apply at 813-961-8024, or you can email your resume in at thirdgenerationplumbing.com. Just go to the website, you'll see the button, email them, or call them at 813-961-8024. And don't forget about the $169 yearly maintenance special. It's a no-brainer, guys. thirdgenerationplumbing.com, and they also do AC.
Ciao, Paolo Tini here, owner of Caffè Paradiso, voted number 3 People's Choice Award on Open Table. I want to thank all our loyal family of customers that have been enjoying our great traditional Italian dishes we make from scratch every day. It's a great family story we're proud of. Our family moved from Rimini, Italy in 1984. My dad, Caesar, started Donatello, and that's where I got the start in the restaurant business. I started Caffè Paradiso on South McDill in 1995, and we've been there ever since. From our traditional ossobuco, a veal slow roast for 4 hours, to our daily fresh catch, the Gruppo Paradiso, with a piccata sauce and lobster claw meat, homemade pasta like lasagna, farfalle salsicce salchicha, which is a bow tie pasta homemade with fresh sausage. Hold on a minute, JP's favorite.
I love it.
So come and have a glass of wine with me on South McDill. Get a reservation on Open Table and see all our 5-star reviews. Ciao, see you soon at Paradiso.
Welcome to Kingmakers, home of the JP Peterson Show studio and Tampa's premier business networking and social club for members only. By day, it's an exclusive, vibrant co-working space with a stylish conference room, focus rooms, a full production studio, and an in-house marketing team. And by night, Kingmakers transforms into a sports-centric social hub with a full sports bar, golf simulator, and exclusive events. For young entrepreneurs and seasoned professionals, it's the perfect place to work hard, play hard, and make big moves in Midtown Tampa. Close the deal, celebrate the win. Only at Kingmakers. Become a member today at kingmakerstampa.com. Your business, your club. Hey, JP here for my concierge medical professional, Chris Lugo, PA. You've heard him on the show for a couple of years where he shares invaluable medical, nutritional, and supplement advice. With Chris, it's like having a medical provider as your best friend. What I love about this concierge service is the convenience and support he offers. I can text or call him 24/7 with any questions or concerns, and he'll promptly call in a prescription if needed. No office visits or copays required. It gives me peace of mind knowing I have someone genuinely invested in my health, not just focused on insurance profits. And the best part, the Bay Area Modern Medical Center's personal concierge service is more affordable than you might think. Don't let insurance companies dictate your health care. Take control of your health and wellness today. Visit BAMMC.com for more information and to schedule your initial free consultation. Empower yourself and take charge of your personal health with BAMMC.com.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by the great folks at Third Generation Plumbing and AC. ThirdGenerationPlumbing.com is the website. And they are hiring, by the way. If you want to work for a great local company, John Rodriguez, the owner over there, and PJ, who operates the great company, ThirdGenerationPlumbing.com is the place to go. Send your resume over there. You can get the email on the website there and tell them JP sent you. Great pay, do all the holidays. They got benefits as well. So and you're not working for some corporate jackass that wants you to go out and defraud your customers, because that happens, you know. But not at thirdgenerationplumbing.com. So if you need maintenance, they have a maintenance special going on right now. $169 gets you 2 visits a year. They'll come out and clean out the drain line, make sure everything's working great. And if you have to make an emergency call, it's going to cost you a lot more than that. So be smart, be proactive, get them to come out there and do the maintenance and make your unit perform at its peak performance. And they use American Standard units as well if you need a new unit. American Standard Heating and Cooling. Great partners over there at Third Generation Plumbing and American Standard Heating and Cooling. All right, my friend. Big goalie hockey fight last night in the Panthers-San Jose game, eh? That was kind of fun.
I mean, do you say A when you're talking about Miami and San Jose teams?
It's hockey. It's a hockey thing. So yeah, sure.
All right.
Yeah. So yeah, there was a fight behind the net, San Jose's net, and the San Jose goalie goes back behind him, starts participating. So Bobrovsky feels, well, if he's fighting, then I have to fight him. So
goalie codes
steaming down the ice at full force, slams into the San Jose goalie. I forget his name, and they start throwing haymakers. Honestly, really, really good goalie fight. Went on for quite some time. So San Jose will come in here tonight doing a little back-to-back action with the Lightning, who are going to go for their 14th consecutive game with a point because they lost in a shootout to St. Louis. When was that? On Friday? I believe that was. Had all the opportunities in the world to win that game and could still be going, but we'll take the 13 consecutive points games. Losing in a shootout. Of course, they get a point there. So they're back at home, and then they'll zip back out, I think, for another road game as well. And then the 26th, they're back. So,
JP, I have our hockey fight in question if you would like to.
Yeah.
If you would like to see it, because I haven't seen it. So I had to go look it up here and see what was going on to compare it to the all-time greatest hockey goalie fight of all time, the Patrick Waugh, Mike Vernon, Avalanche Red Wings from
showdown. Yeah.
96, 97, something like that. So let's see if I can throw this up here.
Oh,
This is the crowd, man.
Nedeljkovic.
That's louder than when they won the Stanley Cup.
I think it was. Yeah.
Holy crap,
Wow.
that was baseballs.
Wow, that was so good. Hockey's such a great sport. It's such a great sport.
I'll pull the video at some point of the Mike Vernon and Patrick Waugh, because that was just, they dared each other. Remember that? Like, Patrick Waugh was at his end looking at Mike Vernon doing this. Mike Vernon's like, let's go, baby. They met at center ice, like at full speed. Just, oh my God, it was so great. I love hockey.
Chris
in the
Cole
90s.
said we have Bill Callahan to the Falcons staff.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah.
Bill Callahan Jr., I hope, right?
Did they upgrade? I mean, they have definitely upgraded for Raheem, I would think. But is that the guy they really wanted, Stefanski, in Atlanta?
I think so. I
They
think
have wanted-
Stefanski was the number 2 candidate behind Harbaugh for everybody.
Yeah, I would think
I don't
so.
know that I love Kevin Stefanski. I don't know that Atlanta's a great fit for him, but dude, I would have Stefanski and head my team any day. I have no problems with him whatsoever.
Yeah. When you can win Coach of the Year twice in Cleveland, you're doing
In
something.
Cleveland.
You're doing something.
And how Andrew Barry still has a job up there, I have no idea, because he's the one that screwed that franchise repeatedly.
The Deshaun Watson deal is the worst deal in the history of the NFL. How do you keep your
And
job?
that was
after
all
that?
him. That was
How
all
do you keep
him.
your job after that?
I know Jimmy Haslam has had his back. Well, I had to approve it. Yeah, but it wasn't your brainchild.
And I think Stefanski has succeeded in distancing himself from that debacle.
Yeah.
Clearly, because he got a job. Michael LaRue says the Florida Panthers have a salary cap problem. They didn't have cap space to activate Matthew Tkachuk until Seth Jones went on LTIR. Now Jones can't be activated when healthy. Yeah, they do. So the LTIR now is a thing of the past. You cannot manipulate that anymore.
Yeah.
So they are going to have an issue. Interesting. Wonder what's going to happen there. By the way, Marty says, over the years, I bought much of my jewelry from the Golden Diamond engagement, tennis bracelet, diamond earrings, just putting that out there for the advertisers in case they're wondering. How about that? Thank you, Marty. Appreciate that. It works to advertise on the JP Peterson Show. Because people go out, and I assume you've had a wonderful experience. Otherwise, you would not have gone back so many times, right? See how I figured that out? Nathan Elliott said, Bowles got involved in the offense to protect the defense. If a team runs the ball, it eats the clock and keeps the defense on the field. The play calling still sucked, and the defense was still exposed. I think that's part of it. No question about it. They wanted to run the football more to lessen the exposure of his terrible defense. Yeah, that's what defensive coaches do. They want conservative, clock-eating offenses so their defenses can shine and win games. Except when they don't.
And you know what? When that strategy is used in the right way, it can be very effective.
Absolutely. The first thing is you have to have a good defense.
Right, but you can't use it to cover up the deficiencies of your defense. That's not how that works, especially when your offense is also struggling.
Well, and then you're kneecapping your offense. If your offense is going to win you games, which clearly it was the better side of the ball here, and did win games in the beginning of the season despite the terrible defense, you can't then kneecap your offense to try and help your shitty defense, because it's a game where the most points wins. So if you score, but you can actually outscore teams.
Stars.
Yes. You can outscore teams and have success, even if you have a crappy defense. And then once again, that gets down to how Bowles manages games. And this has always been my issue with him. And I said it at the beginning of the season. You got a good roster. I thought it was Super Bowl worthy. I was wrong, but it was still a damn good roster. And, we judge the players. We say, oh, it's not a great roster because, Servassier Dennis doesn't look that good. Well, maybe with a better defensive coordinator, he would look better. Maybe Zion McCollum would look a hell of a lot better with a defensive coordinator that is better. Maybe Antoine Winfield would make more plays if the guys back there knew what the hell they were doing and weren't always confused. So we judge these players on their production, which is intrinsically tied to your defensive coordinator's scheme, which according to the players and Hall of Famers is not good. So let's pump the brakes a little bit on every defensive player is bad because the defense is bad. Fair? It all works in concert. I see you have the classic goalie fight.
Would you like to see it?
Sure.
All right, let's roll with it.
To help out Claude Lemieux, Patrick Roy came flying out of the goal.
Look at the laundry out there.
Dropped all his equipment and is taking on Mike Vernon.
And as Patrick was looking the other way, Vernon was helping out on another scrap. That's why Wazek went out. Ho-ho!
Look watching
We
Transformers.
could have both goaltenders.
Look at the laundry on the ice.
Not for this, but they both came
They
out
were
of
the
their
last
crease
two
and
to
charged
fight, I
each
think.
other at center.
Absolutely. And Claude Lemieux has
Even
gone
the
to
other guys are like,
the
what?
locker room right now, too, and is shaken up. And look at those goaltenders.
Wow.
Man, I tell you what, as a Stars fan that was in the middle of that rivalry, because it was in the West, it was Detroit, Colorado, and Dallas, all through the late 90s and the early 2000s. And there was no better rivalry than when you had Colorado, Dallas, when you had two of those teams on the ice against each other, because you literally never knew what was going to happen.
Yeah,
I mean,
that was a different time. Woo.
I love goalie goals and goalie fights, man. Is there anything better?
Fantastic. Joel Forsland reminds us that Lamar gets $51.5 million in base salary in 2026 with a cap hit of $74.5 million.
That will get
Holy
reworked.
shit.
Don't worry. That will get reworked.
That could decrease his trade value for whoever wants him. I'm just here to tell you. I don't want to say it doesn't matter how good a quarterback is. That's way too much. But that's way too much. That's way too much to be in a salary cap league to be given to one player. And for the life of me, I don't know why quarterbacks do that, especially now when they can make so much money in endorsements, so much money off the field in endorsements.
Yeah.
I mean, video games will pay Lamar whatever the hell they want for them to, for him to represent their company. Since that, that's his thing.
I just don't think
take less money and let your team win for F's sake. Tom Brady rule.
Lamar Jackson's a game changer, man. I really don't.
I don't think he is anymore. I think he was at one time, but I just, his extreme athleticism has always been his calling card. It's his superpower, and he doesn't have it anymore.
To me, Lamar Jackson is in the same mold as Cam Newton. Cam Newton was never a talented quarterback, in my opinion.
Right.
I think he was just more athletic than everybody else on the field, and his athleticism could overcome some of those quarterbacking deficiencies, right? Exactly. And of course, he could run.
Yes.
But the older he got, that went away. And I think the same thing's
with guys that
with Lamar.
With the guys that are super dependent on their athleticism, that's going to wane. Unlike Brady, who was super dependent. His superpower was his incredible arm, incredible acumen, incredible preparation, and his anticipation. And
that's why he played so long, because that doesn't go away.
Exactly.
I mean, the arm might, but it didn't with him.
No, it didn't. It got better the older he got. But that was all very intentional. Nathan Elliott says the Glazers love Jason Light. Light has spoken to the Glazers, and Bowles is his guy. He took some of the heat for player issues in 2025, and he got Bowles another year. That is why Bowles survived.
It would be nice to hear somebody comment on that.
Yeah. Anybody from the organization want to come out and talk about your team right now? Your NFL team that is without an OC and a bunch of other coaches kind of floundering in the wind. This is why it doesn't, I think there's things coming, and it might be today and it might be tomorrow. Refresh your Twitter. Okay. This just out for you, Rays folks. This is from the Times, and they just got to look at the document that's going to be voted on today for Hillsborough College. And it's pretty short, so I'll read this. So the Rays Stadium project at Hillsborough College, that's not community college anymore, Dale Mabry site, could mean a brand new campus According to a non-binding memorandum of understanding obtained by the Times, the project includes 3 parts: redeveloping the 113-acre Dale Mabry campus facilities, building the stadium with related amenities, and creating a mixed-use development. All right, everything we've known. They will meet today, this afternoon, to discuss and vote on the MOU. According to the document, the team and the college will negotiate an ownership and financing structure. Hillsborough College would lease all property other than their campus area to the Rays with a long-term lease not less than 99 years. If public funding goes to the stadium or related amenities, which it will, its ownership would be transferred to the county, which would keep the team's owner from having to pay property taxes. Aha.
Boom.
Okay. There's a significant savings for the owners in building the stadium. Now, opponents would say, well, shouldn't they pay property taxes? And this is not addressed in this particular story, but I believe that that's property taxes on the stadium and on the ground that the stadium is on. Now, the other areas where you're building condos, entertainment district, retail, etc., that I would assume would be subject to property tax, where the state and the county can recoup money for their portion of the build out. But I don't know that I don't think you could pass it any other way. Frankly, it's not politically palatable. If we're going to give, no property tax for all the office buildings that are being, no, that ain't gonna work. It continues. College facilities would be built as a standalone project on the southwest corner of the property facing North Lois Avenue. So that's furthest away from Raymond James Stadium. The area would not be leased to the Rays, and the college would be responsible for construction and upkeep. The plan includes new educational facilities, infrastructure, parking, and common spaces. So the college district, as it would be called, is subject to the Rays' approval on design, aesthetics, and architectural standards. Any construction by the Rays that includes demolishing the college's current buildings shall be done in a manner as to minimize interference with HC's operations and activities, including building temporary facilities, according to the agreement. The mixed-use development may consist of hotels, restaurants, retail space, multifamily buildings, sports and health buildings, commercial buildings, and parking. The Rays would have control over this area. The Rays and the college would not be required to use the same developer for their respective projects. Project's master plan is subject to Hillsborough College's approval. So, and this was from the Times, Lucy Marquise and Nina Mosky were the reporters on this. So great job on getting that information. So there's a graphic that comes along with it on this particular page, and you can see the buildings in the southwest corner. So as we had thought, the stadium will likely back up to Dale Mabry, the actual superstructure of the stadium, and be in the southeast corner, further away from Steinbrenner Field. So that would, you can't have the sun setting in the outfield. So it would be pointed either towards Raymond James Stadium or pointed towards downtown. So your center field backdrop would be kind of whatever the stadium next door is going to be look like. Now, looking at Hard Rock Stadium last night, it's very iconic, obviously, with the roof that they put on it. And I think that the Bucs renovation is probably going to have some type of roof element to it. If you're going to spend all that money, I think you need to get the fans in the shade and covered from the elements. Yeah. So in some way, I think that's coming. So it'll be kind of cool looking towards the stadium in the background, and then maybe downtown as well. So that would be nice, a nice kind of like sight lines to it. And I would expect it to be a kind of a translucent roof. I think that's what's been talked about, but I don't know that for sure.
That's the trend now too.
Yeah. So, wow, that's going to be really cool. And so as the process is going to go, so this will be the first step. So now they have the land, they know where it's going to be. They have, they're going to they basically won't have to pay for the land in essence, because it's state owned. And that's where these connections come in with DeSantis and the state and the county, obviously. So we're on our way. Now, the next question is funding for the stadium. What is the public piece going to look like? And they're going to ask for a big number. And I think that's where it starts. And I think then the negotiating begins, and they can see where they can come up with special taxing districts, CDDs, to pay for this in a way that property taxes won't be used. SITS money, CDD, same thing they did in Atlanta that's been wildly successful. So, again, I think this is very doable. I don't think they would have picked this site if they didn't feel they had a really good chance of getting this done from a financial perspective. Why would you spend all this money to buy a team, pick this site, zero in on 2029? And of course, obviously, they're going to have huge backing from Major League Baseball and all of this because Major League Baseball wants them to get it done. So I think Major League Baseball throws in like $150 million towards their part of the stadium. So again, with development money, developers coming in, and obviously that's Zalewski and Cosgrove from Union Mortgage. Those guys are going to profit. The team is going to profit from the mixed use and all the building around it. And, if you're a developer and you were going to come in and ask for 110 acres, I mean, it would cost you a lot of money. So the money, this is why the real estate deal is key to it. If you don't have any land acquisition costs or very little, then you can put a larger portion of your money into the building of the stadium. That's what you're doing. You're basically trading your portion of the money for the property. It's very simplistic, and it's not, equal numbers, but it's a huge chunk. And that's how this all gets done. And it's dependent upon the real estate market and that staying strong, which obviously in Florida, we think it will. And it benefits the state. It benefits the county. It benefits Tampa Bay. We finally get a forever home in a really central location that doesn't need a whole lot of infrastructure because it's already there from the previous stadium. You now have a stadium complex. You have a forever home for the Rays. It's a lot of good stuff. Centrally located for everybody to be able to get to. You're going to look at 2.4 million people within a 30 to 45 minute travel time, as opposed to 600,000 over in St. Pete. This is what Major League Baseball has always wanted. It's what the Rays have always wanted. And this is just another big step, and it comes today. So that's good to know. All right, let's hit another break. We'll come back, get to more of your comments, anything you guys want to bring to the table, the national championship game last year, more hirings in the NFL.
JP, I have a surprise for you coming out of break, too.
Oh, we have surprises. We like
surprise video. It's a surprise video I found just for you and the Petermans.
Oh, maybe it's
going to get some good old day syndrome.
Okay, I love it. Is it Bobby the Chief Taylor's goalie fight? I don't think there's video. There's still pictures, but no video.
Yeah, it was black and white back then.
We're brought to you by the great folks at KingmakersTampa.com, this beautiful club that we're in right here. We have a sports bar here, a golf simulator, office space, shared office space, all that cool stuff. You can become a member, have events here, use this production facility, all that good stuff. It's KingmakersTampa.com. Very unique for you entrepreneurs who are looking for a midtown office base. This is the place for you. KingmakersTampa.com for more information. Back in 3. Italiano Insurance would like to congratulate the Bucs on their 50th anniversary season. And you know what? We've been here for every season and then some, over 60 years in business. We've seen some smart coaches with great game plans, but if you don't have flood insurance or business insurance, that's a terrible game plan. That could ruin you financially. You don't want to take that L. So call 813-877-7799 and let their friendly agents quarterback your insurance and save you big money. Italiano also sponsors our FSU report every week, so go Noles. 813-877-7799 or go to ItalianoInsurance.com. Experience the art of driving at Genesis of Tampa, where luxury meets innovation and every detail is crafted for you. From the bold G70 to the refined GV80, Genesis delivers power, elegance, and technology years ahead of its time. Book service online, and our Genesis Experience advisors will pick you up and drop off your vehicle. If available, you can enjoy a courtesy car while yours gets a complimentary interior vacuum plus a generous offer for your trade. Every new Genesis comes with the Miracle Advantage Plan, 10 years or 250,000 miles of powertrain warranty and 4 years of complimentary maintenance. Visit us at 801 East Bears Avenue or online at genesisoftampa.com. Genesis of Tampa, luxury redefined.
Sports fans, it's time to gear up. Head to fanstreamsports.com and check out our brand new merchandise store. We're talking bold t-shirts, 3/4 zips, hoodies, hats, mugs, and more. Everything you need to rep your favorite shows and your favorite crew. Whether you're rolling with the JP Peterson Show in Tampa Bay, From the Rough in Dallas, the Tim May Show featuring Clay Hall, or the Jeff Thidoff Show in Ohio, or any of our FanStream Sports original programming, we've got the perfect look for game day and every day. So don't wait. fanstreamsports.com. Click merch and grab your gear now. Wear the stream, live the stream, fanstreamsports.com.
Hey, kick off the new year by impressing her with a real diamond, a natural diamond from Golden Diamond Source. Don't start with a fake diamond, guys. That's a really, really bad idea. And if you're ready to pop the question, find the perfect engagement ring at the Golden Diamond Source, just like I did, just like Nick did. It is the best selection, the best staff, the best everything. And discover the new Emily collection by Emily Johnson Weintraub, a sleek and modern jewelry line that makes everyday gifts absolutely extraordinary. And by the way, gold prices have never been higher, so turn that old unused gold into cash or a stunning new piece. Just take it on down to the Golden Diamond Source and trade it in. Lots to get done at the Golden Diamond Source this new year. Start with an engagement ring from the greatest, the Golden Diamond Source. 3800 Omerton Road, always online at the Golden Diamond Source.
It's the love you give only at Golden Diamond Source.
JP here for Riveters, our new official sports bar and grill of the JP Peterson Show. And just like our show, no BS, no corporate chain feel, just amazing, authentic folks serving great comfort food in a casual atmosphere at unheard of prices. Riveters is located just south of Raymond James and Steinbrenner Field on Dale Mabry, walking distance to the park. So free parking, great place for pregame and postgame. Let's talk about fresh food. Nothing is frozen. Burgers, wings, prime rib, roasted fresh daily, never frozen. That makes a huge difference. The mahi, the salmon, also super fresh. All our sauces are original recipes made in-house. Our Warhawk chili and fully loaded potato soup is made fresh in-house. It's the best food anywhere, served by people who actually care. Riveters on Dale Mabry, just north of 275, just south of where the Bucs and Rays play. We'll see you there. Hey folks, Rays baseball and the summer heat will be here before you know it. So don't let your AC unit strike out and cost you hundreds or thousands for an emergency repair. Get a 1-year maintenance plan from Third Generation Plumbing and AC for just $169. Though will come out twice a year and service your unit. Clean the drain line, make sure it's running to peak efficiency. If you need an emergency repair, it's going to cost you hundreds, if not thousands more. It's a no-brainer, guys. Just call the great friendly folks at Third Generation. They work with American Standard Heating and Cooling to ensure you have the most efficient and durable units. Their split systems offer the highest efficiency available while reducing energy bills and maximizing comfort. So choose my guys, John Rodriguez and PJ at Third Generation, along with American Standard Heating and Cooling. Don't wait for the emergency that'll cost you thousands. Call Third Generation Plumbing and American Standard. 813-961-8024. That's 813-961-8024 or thirdgenerationplumbing.com.
Let's go.
Right now, back to the show on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by the great folks at Italiano Insurance. It's a great day to get them to shop all your insurance needs and maybe find hundreds, thousands of dollars in savings, because you pay a lot. But you add up all the insurance you pay on a monthly basis. Just imagine just saving 5% on all of it. It's significant money, folks. So give them a call over there. A human being will answer the phone, and they will do all the work for you and then get back with you on hopefully some new lower rates on auto insurance, life insurance, business insurance, which you must have, homeowners insurance, flood insurance, all your different insurances. So let them do the work. 813-877-7799. All right, Timmy, you have a surprise for us?
I do. With all the doom and gloom surrounding the Bucs organization, I found something that I scrolled across as I was doom scrolling last night, and I'm like, I need to share this with the Petermans and with JP, because I think everybody will get a kick out of this, JP. And some of these names and the sites that you'll see, for those that have been in the Tampa area for a long time, you're in for a treat. And there's also a little mini treat here for Dallas Cowboys fans. It was unintended and unexpected, but it's here.
Looking at the dawn of a new decade in the NFL,
I saw
Tampa
this
Bay Buccaneer fans lined up for days, awaiting tickets to this championship game.
That's the old $1 place.
Yeah.
For the people where they were selling the tickets at a ticket booth during the week.
The sombrero.
A Goodyear blimp shot of the old sombrero.
The baseball stadium.
Look at that. Yeah, I saw the baseball stadium there.
Awesome. It's the Buccaneers.
Yeah, because that's where Ray J is now, where the baseball
keep
stadium.
it rolling. Keep it rolling. It's great.
The people who support it. Tampa Bay is awesome. It's the Buccaneers and Los Angeles for the NFC title.
You know, I'd rather be calling plays for my friend Roger Staubach today, but the Rams wouldn't invite me. So I decided to stop by and call a few plays for my friends on the NFL today. By the way, Happy New Year, everyone. The Dallas Cowboys will be back.
Oh, Tom.
Well, they get Tom Landry to do that.
Well, he wasn't playing or coaching.
All these hits have been outlawed in the game, by the way.
Brings me back to my youth right here, man, every Sunday.
Da, 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 da. Boom, boom. Bringing the trombones.
Yep.
What a guy.
Had to show that.
What a tape machine. Shane Kennedy. Irv Cross. Jack Whitaker. That's Jimmy the Greek. Oh, yeah. You're looking live.
The NFL Today
Tampa Stadium.
NFC Championship Edition is sponsored by True Value Hardware
True Value
Stores.
Hardware
True
Stores.
Value, more than just a name, it's our way of doing business.
And
Xerox.
How about these
And by
sponsors,
Aladdin
man?
Stanley Thermos.
Aladdin Stanley Thermoses have made a comeback.
From the CBS Sports Control in Tampa, Florida. Here's Brent Musburger.
They were on site for that one, too.
Oh, yeah, the NFC Championship game, man.
That was a good find. That was good stuff right there. Oh, man. If people forget, always remember the 0-26. They forget that the Buccaneers got to the NFC Championship game in 4 years.
Yeah.
4 years once Doug Williams arrived. And then
It was a good game, too.
yeah, was it? Wasn't that the
I mean,
not? Was
for
that
Rams,
the 9?
for Rams fans?
The 9-0 game?
Probably.
That one? Okay, back to comments. Yeah, Marty's like,
reality.
look at Al Lopez Field in the background. Yeah. Yes. Johnny says, great find, Tim. HCC has been a bizarre mold-smelling dump since 1984 when I went there. Well, maybe it needs a little refresher, huh, Thomas? Yeah, right? How are we going to do? Stu is 0-for-4 in stadium deals, and Zalupski got the deal done in 6 months. Well, the deal's not done just yet, JS, but it's looking
But it's closer. Good. Yeah, it's looking good.
Looking good. And yet, still we talked about this a lot yesterday, Timmy, a lot of negativity surrounding this new ownership group because of the podcast that Ken Babby did the other day, which I thought was a great podcast, but the Times did a hit piece on it instead, made it look like it was a lot worse than it was, in my opinion. Yeah, I just, again, if I were talking to the owners, I would say, come in this studio.
Yeah.
Ken, come on over here. Let's do this the right way. No disrespect to your friend Hunks calling Junks, but I knew that is exactly when I saw that podcast. I was like, oops, this is not, even though obviously I knew what he was saying, which was very much positive. Yeah, we got a lot of headwinds, but we can handle this, and this is how we're going to do it, and this is the way we approach it, and this is the way we do it. And you come away feeling very inspired with Ken Babby's leadership, but of course, when you go read the article, and if you just read the headline, like so many people do, it sounds like they're already complaining, and which is what we knew would happen. They have to understand the media landscape that is here. And the people at the Times do not want this team in Tampa, in my opinion. It almost feels like they would rather them go to Orlando than land in Tampa. And you have to understand this, and all the reporting is going to be tinged with that. Because how do we know? Because that's what we've seen nonstop. So you got to be careful. You got to be careful what you're dealing with. Rick says, after reading the Times article about the HCC site, Stu threw his caviar across the room. Topkin told Stu that the new owners would be vilified forever for destroying the hallowed halls of HCC. Yeah, let's write an article about the hallowed halls of HCC and what damage they're going to be doing if they erect a stadium on the site of this historic monument bastion to higher learning.
Community college, guys. Come on.
It's Harvard Yard. It's been there for centuries. Centuries of learning have gone on. Oh, the humanity we're destroying. It's a protected wetland or something. This mold-infested building with chewing gum at the bottom of the desks. Get out of here.
Asbestos everywhere.
Oh, my God.
Asbestos you.
The Themiola or wherever the hell it is, we got a spot for you. Yep, absolutely. The snow game in December 1985 is also great footage. By the way, there was a clip of a video of the Keishon Boutte catch in the end zone, the one-hander.
Yeah.
Have you seen this one? Where it comes out of Drake May's hand, and with typical NFL films where they zero in on the ball going through the snow, and you see the perfect spiral going through the snow, and then it goes through the lights, and then you see Keishon's hand come out and grab it with one. I mean, what a shot by
NFL awesome
films. Fantastic.
Those guys are good, man. Those guys are real good at what they do.
What else we got here? Joel Fortland says that looks like a deer stand. Yeah, the studio that they built right there in the tunnel. Yeah.
Nathan's just on the field all the time now.
Nathan says, I have a great number of game day programs from 1976. I have, I don't know where it is, but I have a bunch of Dolphins memorabilia. I did a scrapbook from the 72 Dolphins where I have programs, and I have autographs from Larry Zonka and Jim Kick and Bob Greasy and all the old programs. I kind of took them out and put them in a scrapbook. I got to find that.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's really, really nice. Mike H says maybe try to get Ken Hagan on again to explain the process after the HCC vote. Yep, I think we'll do that. Marty DeBoer says, I listened, I don't know Babby, I don't know this other podcast, and he said something that could be perceived the wrong way. He has to figure out a way to better reach his fan base. First step was off. Yeah, we've had conversations with the owners about coming on this program when the time is right. I'll probably reach out to him again after this. I don't know if I'd call it a misstep. It's just, I would definitely, Eric Neander had a media session. He went out the other day and basically said, we're this is the way we operate, and we're not changing it. We're always working for today with an eye on tomorrow. And I think, his message was, we're 28, 29 is when we really want to be zeroed in as we move into this stadium. And this is an obvious strategy, but I think it would behoove the ownership group to come out and have a mass press conference where all media can be there, not just the Tampa Bay Times, and talk to all of us and get the message out to the fans that, hey, we're going to be a little bit, it's not like we're not trying to win right now, but we got a lot on our plate. And if we're going to do this the right way, we got to get the stadium right and do it right. Get our TV network together, which they have to rebuild it and figure out how they're going to do that. And this is a huge, huge part of their revenue plan. So they got to get that done right. It's not that they can't multitask, but these are things that you have to get the cost certainties on these before you can develop a budget for what you're going to pay players, right? You have to know what you're spending. So get the television deal right. Make sure you maximize that for revenue coming in, obviously. Stadium as well. You got to get that deal right in terms of what are the possible revenues and how you're going to do that. It's just like the Baltimore Orioles did. Their new owner came in. They kind of sat tight for a year. Then they went out and did the Alonso deal. So we have to have patience with the group. And I know everybody wants to go ahead and transfer over all their frustration from Stu to this group. That's completely unfair. It's completely unfair. But I would like to hear the owners come out and say, hey, this is what we're telling Eric. You know, this is their budget's going to be X or in that area. We're going to incrementally increase it till we get to 29 when we can really max out the revenues as you guys come and buy season tickets and luxury boxes and make, you know, commitments for the next 5 years in the new stadium. We'll have an idea of what we can spend. Who's against that? Nobody. But if you come out and do these things piecemeal like this, where they can be misinterpreted, you're going to have these issues. So I think they would do well to do that. And I don't think there's a Rays fan after what we've been through. But I do think it is time to marshal the forces and get the message out there and make sure that the community is on board with this, because there's about to be a big ask of the community. And you don't want to go into that with your most dogged fans looking at you like, oh, you're just cheaping out like Stu. Give them a plan, give them an outlook, and make some commitments, and let's hear it from you. Now, they said it at the opening press conference, hey, we're going to develop all this land and use that revenue to pour into the team. I get that. You've said that message. Now it's time to say it again. As you're going to ask for the public money, let's come out with a clear voice, sitting next to Eric Neander, ownership, everybody. This is the plan moving forward. And then we can really get behind these prospects, right? We know they're going to struggle at the major league level, but we can take our wins where we get them, and we can all be on board with it. And I think that's a smart play. So let's start it by coming in here and doing the podcast.
Yep. Good place to start.
Clearly, this is the conduit to most of the fans. I mean, what are we doing here?
Oh, yeah.
And then also all the mainstream media have to come to our show and get their quotes.
Get their actual quotes, not made up quotes.
They have to mention our name
and they have
their stories, which they really hate to do.
And they have to link back to us.
Sorry, we didn't mean to put that up just right yet. What is Tony saying in here? I don't know what this is all about. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to go backwards through these comments. Okay, here we go. JS13 says if Hillsborough doesn't get their ducks in a row, Orlando is sitting right there waiting for the team. That is true. That is true. And I think this is I've mentioned this before, is a great juxtaposition to put our political people in. I want them to know that if they screw this up in Hillsborough County, they're not going back to St. Pete. They're going to Orlando. They don't want to build in St. Pete. Major League Baseball does not want the team in St. Pete. So if they can't get this done, it's going to Orlando. And I'll look right into the camera to all you county commissioners. If we lose this team, it's on you.
Not going to happen.
Your political career is over. Now, listen,
They ain't effing leaving.
I'm not asking for you to sign up for some horrible deal for the public. I don't think that's what this ownership group is going to bring to the public. It might be to start. I don't know, but it's going to be a big ask, but let's not look at the big number. Let's look at how we're going to get there. All right. Let's look at how we're going to get there. And as a community, come together and get it done. And I think without Stu, this is very, very doable, because this group is not going to be as entrenched in soaking the public as Stu was, clearly. So we're going to need some political resolve here. We're going to need some of that. So let's not think this is just going to be super easy and they're going to pay for everything, because that's not the way this is going to go down. All right. Anything else you want to get to here, my friend?
I don't think so.
Mike H says, I didn't realize at one point Ken Babby worked for the Washington Post. Yeah, I think he said for 13 years. He worked at the Washington Post doing corporate liaison, I believe, or sponsorships or something in that, and marketing. So, and I think
I didn't know that either.
Bezos came in and bought it. I think he left and pursued his baseball dream. But what, his story, buying the Akron Rubber Duckies and the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp, which were moribund franchises, and rejuvenated them. They just they originally did like a $30 million renovation of the Jumbo Shrimp Stadium, which is an incredible downtown stadium in Jacksonville. Really, really nice, well attended. He did a hell of a job with that. And he's going to bring that same energy and that same, I'm telling you, when you listen to this podcast, you really get a feel for how energized, how innovative from a business standpoint Ken Babby is. He's a master marketer. He's a super hard worker. He's a great communicator. One of the things that in some of the articles I've read, from people in Akron and people in Jacksonville, the political people that have dealt with him, everybody to a man loves the dude and loves, how he does business. So I think that's a huge, obviously it's way different than the previous group. Hey, Belle's in here this morning. She says, Good morning, support group. Hi, Tim and JP. Are we getting any closer to waking from the nightmare? Which nightmare is that? Todd Bowles nightmare?
I think that's what she's talking about, yeah.
So would I be shocked today? Would you be shocked, Tim, if the Glazers came out and said, we're having a press conference to announce our new head coach, Sean McDermott?
Yes.
And we're firing Todd Bowles.
I might have a heart attack and die if that was to happen. That would be the most unexpected twist of anything this cycle.
I would not be shocked. I would not be shocked at all. And I wouldn't be shocked if they named Mike McDaniels the head coach.
So you're saying that at this point, nothing would shock you? Would it shock you if Bowles stayed?
That would be more surprising.
Really?
Yeah. That would be more surprising to me. I know I'm an outlier and I'm not reporting this as true. I'm just telling you from what I've heard, my gut feeling about what's going on, reading the tea leaves. I would not be shocked. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I just say I wouldn't be shocked. Now, the predominant, if I were betting, I would bet. No, I don't know. I don't know. I wouldn't bet. If this were a football game, I wouldn't bet it because I think there's arguments to be made on both sides.
Okay, then let me ask you this.
Okay, go ahead.
As an investigative reporter, I just play one on TV. I'm not actually an investigative reporter. I hate asking hardball questions. Are you basing this on the fact that we have not heard from representatives from the team endorsing Todd Bowles for 2026?
That's part of it, yes.
Then how would you explain the so-called report we got from Bowles himself and from Rick Stroud about Bowles being back for 2026? Where would that have come from?
Well, counselor, I believe that to be true, and obviously is true, but that's Todd Bowles telling a reporter that he's coming back. Now, Is that because the Glazers didn't fire him? Did the Glazers say, hey, did they call him up and say, hey, you're good? I don't know. They didn't say that to us.
But then if the Glazers were not okay with Todd Bowles coming back, or I know they haven't publicly endorsed it, then why are they allowing Todd Bowles to interview potential offensive coordinators?
Because that may be if they don't get the guy, because if they don't get the guy that they want, then they'll go with Bowles. I think, listen, the same thing happened.
But if they get their guy, he's going to hire his own OC. So you're not going to bring an OC in here and then fire Bowles and the new OC.
Have we hired an OC yet?
No. They're interviewing.
Have they hired anybody?
No. I mean, I like where you're going with this. I'm just trying to, for the naysayers.
It's based on this. No public statement from Jason Light or Glazers on Todd Bowles. Odd.
100%. Very extremely odd.
Announcing you're coming back by texting a reporter, odd. Bowles' record, clearly on any level, deserving of the home game. On any level. Thanks for playing. Other candidates coming available that maybe didn't think would be available. Multiple candidates coming available. Obviously, Harbaugh, they kicked the tires on him. That's another thing. Why would they kick the tires if they were so enamored with Todd Bowles? So we're lining up things. Haven't hired an OC yet. Why not? Time's ticking. Interviewing Mike McDaniels, who was obviously a head coaching candidate for others. Did you also interview him for head coach? Perhaps. Todd Monken, also interviewing for head coaching positions. Did you interview him for head coach? I'm not sitting there saying Todd Bowles is doing that, but they can talk to these people outside of having Todd in the room, and I'm quite sure they did. You add up all these things, it says, I don't know, to me. Plus, having talked to somebody yesterday inside the organization that was kind of like, let's just put it this way. There's not a sense of, hey, it's Todd's job and we're all moving forward gung ho. There's a sense in the building of uncertainty. So you add all of that together, it tells me that I don't think it's a complete done deal. And that's just my opinion. That's what it's based on. I think if they find the guy in the right situation, I think they'll pull the trigger. And I think there's a lot of discussions going back and forth. Again, this is not a team that's owned by one person. You have multiple voices here. Multiple voices.
And that can't be a good thing for the organization, by the way.
It could be. I think it strengthens them in a lot of different ways. I think each one of these owners brings something to the table. I think Darcy brings a lot of community outreach that she's done. And, I think it really has strengthened this team in a lot of different ways, especially with her, the charity work that they've done through the Glazer Vision, the She Is Football, the flag football, so much that they have done. I think it really, really has strengthened this organization within the community, and her presence here in the community, I think, is a great thing. And Brian and Joel have typically been the two that have been more hands-on with the football operations, more so than Avi and Ed, Kevin, I believe it is. Mm-hmm. So I think I don't think there's a unanimous consensus behind Todd Bowles. I don't think that at all. I think there are some that really want him and some that are open to what's next. So, and also the fact that the Glazers have a history of doing things differently. They don't fire their coaches on Black Monday. They don't fire their.
Is that what you're hoping for, JP?
Not bad. Not bad. What's his record? 98-50?
I believe so. He's only 8-8 in the playoffs, though.
That's 8 wins in the playoffs? Compared to 1-3 versus 8-8. Who you got?
Two conference championship games, I believe 5 division titles.
It's 2-0 compared to Bowles.
In a real division. In a real division.
Right. I mean, stack resumes up against any of these open candidates. And Bowles, I mean, McDaniels is pretty much 500 overall as well with 2 divisional, so that's kind of even.
But he did that with Tua.
Yeah, but you get a younger and you get an offensive mind and a play caller. So I think that trumps. I think McDaniels will be an upgrade from Bowles. And also, again, if you want, this is entertainment after all, right?
Yeah.
And your client base, your fans, are dying for change, overwhelmingly. So if you're the owners, how do you approach that? For me, it's time for change.
I think the fan base agrees too.
Give the fan base some optimism. And I don't think McDaniels will be a, quote, home run hire. I don't think McDermott. I mean, what is, quote, a home run hire? Maybe John Harbaugh would have been. Even people would bitch about that.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know that you're going to have a consensus home run hire with any coach.
I don't either. That's why, to me, change is good. And I'd like to see something. I think a lot of fans would too. Sean McDermott, 100%.
He would move the needle?
Absolutely he would. And should.
He should?
Yeah. And he fixed the defense, which needs fixing. Big time.
And then you bring in an OC that can run the offense for you. You know who's available, JP? I mean, he's getting head coaching looks, but Joe Brady.
Yeah.
He's been under you in Buffalo for years.
I know people scoff at, Zach Robinson. Look what he's done. He's Liam Cohen light. Yeah. And would you rather have Sean McDermott and Zach Robinson or Todd Bowles and Dan Pitzker or Dan Pitcher?
Dan Pitcher. It's Dan Pitzker.
What would you rather have? I can poke holes in all of it, but I'll take the former over the latter.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. Thank you guys for joining us. Appreciate you dudes and dudettes. Thank you very much for joining us. Don't forget to like and subscribe to all. We're 1,800 plus on the YouTube subscribers. Let's get to 2,000 before football season's over. Come on. If you haven't liked and subscribed to the channel, go do that. And also our family of channels on YouTube, please. Live FanStream Sports Dallas, FanStream Sports Columbus, and now FanStream Sports Carolinas. All that there. So go do that and buy some gear. These are warm. This pullover here is so warm. Really, really good quality. So check that as well. Have a great day, everybody. Go Bolts. We'll see you tomorrow.